Had a delivery. Now think what you think. Have your opinions. You know who we bought this off. I didn't decide to buy this until about 5 o'clock last night. 3 or 4 or 5 o'clock. Put my order in. What time is it now? Just gone 1 o'clock. It's here at my door. I haven't even had to move out the door. Oh, you get addicted. We are addicted to this stuff. Where it comes from, what it is, the quality of it, blah, 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 blah. We are addicted to these people because you can just press the button and it's here. You know, you can't get around that for service and convenience. So, have you figured out what we got yet? Hold on. Hold that for a minute. Pause that just for a minute and we're going to open it, scissors. Right. And again, it's choice. You could never keep this much stuff on a shelf and have a choice. So we've gone for this. We've got a new toy. We've got a new toy. There's an Allen key here. Spare parts thing there. You know we're working on the pallets. Well, this is a denailing gun. Yeah. I guess we're going to have to change this. We've got this one. Oh, is there a... Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Look. Basically, you stick... We'll go and have a look at this in a minute. We'll have to change that, which is okay. We'll change that.
Now, what did it say?
What?
Wear goggles.
Yeah.
Wear gloves.
Yeah.
Because we don't want nails going in your eye.
All right. Okay. Now, the other choice is there was ones there for £80. There was some dearer, but there was ones there for £80. And this thing was £40. So for what we use at home, do we buy 2 of these for £40 each, or do we buy 1 of them for £80? And obviously you can spend more. And if you do it every day, I'm guessing all day, every day, you want an expensive one that gives you a really good service and be all right. But for us, that just occasionally land on pallets, this will do. 40 quid, cheapest thing. I deliberately went for the cheapest one I could find. But the thing is, with this crowd, what you got to remember, with this supplier, shall we call them, always watch for your delivery date. Sometimes it takes a few days to arrive. So we chose the one with the right price bracket and chose the one with the next day delivery. So just keep...
You're impatient.
Yeah, no, if I want it now. I don't want it yesterday, or, you know, I want it yesterday. If I want something, I want it yesterday. So, come on, let's go and have a play with this, the denailer for getting the nails. And I'll go and show you in a minute why I've chosen to go down this. I was going to... Usually I just cut them and grind them.
Please put your goggles on.
Yeah, but I'll show you the reason why we've chosen to go this way.
It's quicker, isn't it?
No, I think because these particular pallets are single use, so they've been made in a factory, they've been used new nails. The nails we're pulling out aren't rusty, old, used nails. They're nails that have been used once. So I think the quality of the nails we'll be getting out will be worth rescuing, rather than ordinarily...
You're not going to rescue the nails.
Well, of course, that's what it's all about.
Oh, my God.
Right, so let's see. Right, get ready for the next bit. So whenever you buy an air tool, an air attachment, anything from anywhere, be prepared. Get ready to swap the ends on it. Get ready to swap the ends on it to your standard. As you can see, there's been lots of different standards coming along in here. Ones like this. That's a different standard. This is a different standard. So they're all different, and you can get these connections, all sorts of them. This is a male going into a tube. That catches a tube. that's a female going to a male connection. So if this is a male connection sticking out, say this was that way, you've got one to adapt to that. In this case, we're going to need a, now that's just onto a hose, we're going to need one of these, aren't we, which is going to go into there. But you can have tube to tube, tube to connection to these. That's the female connection. They all clip in. They're all, if ever you do see a pot of these and you're not sure, you know, which one you want, get two or three of these ones, 2 or 3 of those ones, 2 or 3 of pipe to pipe, 2 or 3 of pipe from a pipe to a connector, like there, because remember these also screw into the back of them. They're all the same fittings. They'll all marry into each other, will they, won't they? Yeah, they all, you know, they all connect together. And see, it's a male end, so you want to put a female end over that. And that is a female end, and you want to put a male end into that. You know, it all, you know, it all into, so always get yourself, you will build up as you change them, but make it fit your system. And this seems to be the standard. You go any Machine Mart, all those sort of things, this seems to be the standard system, and this is the system that I use. So every plug, it's a bit like a 3-pin plug. Whatever you buy, you've got to put a UK 3-pin plug, or it could be a European 3-pin plug, or if you're in America, you'd buy them electric plugs that are different to ours, or if you're in France, you use a different plug, don't you? Well, it's the same applies to this air. So don't be worried if that doesn't fit any of your gear. Always pick up and carry a well-stocked, so that when you need it, when you get an air tool. Now usually I put a tail on this, so usually I would have gone from there to hose. Have I got, yeah, no, I haven't got one, have I? Have I got one? Yeah, I would have gone here to there. Ordinarily, I would have gone there to hose, put a short length of hose on it, and then put the connector on it, the snap connector on it. But today, just for quickness, I'm just going to slam one of these in there and just change it out. PTFE. I mean, we're not even going to bother with the PTFE. Take this out, put your sealant, wrap that around PTFE and shove it back in. So let's do that now then. When you're buying air tools, be prepared to change the end of it to your system. This is the system I use. Be prepared to change them. Don't be surprised if you have to change them or they come a different way or a different style. It's just one of those things. So it's not like gas pipe. Gas pipe is opposite thread always. Propane or butane gas pipes. So this is just standard, you know, right, lefty loosey, righty tighty, lefty loosey and righty tighty. It's no big deal. It's just simple. Unscrew one, screw the other one in. This feels a little tight now. Whether that's the residue of the sealant or the way it is. So I'm not going to screw it all the way in. I've got a connection. I've got a tight connection. I don't want to be forcing this thing in here and maybe cracking this casing around it. It's like it's almost a glue they've put on it. So I'm just going to, as long as it's in enough threads and it feels, you don't have to force it to the very end. All you're doing is just making that connection, aren't you? Yeah. And that's going to be just fine for us. Yeah, just fine. Means now, this now will connect to any other part of my air system. Just change them all the same, you know. Use the same connection on everything, whatever connection you choose. So this one's ready. I might put a tail on it. I'll show you what I do with the tail. So the reason I choose to put a tail on my equipment, I always like to put a tail on it, just a short tail, because what you'll find is whatever piece of equipment you've got, especially like something like this, you're putting it up and down, slamming it on the floor, it's quite rigid up to that point. It makes the handle very much longer, doesn't it? Because you've got this connection. So when you're putting it down, throwing it on a deck, doing or whatever, this is more flexible and bendy. And then also, I've discovered if you connect it directly like this, it tends to pop out. So what happens is, look, this knocks something and it connects. Where this, you got a more, this is a bit more robust. You can slam this down, you can jump on it, you can put it on the floor. You've got a little less space. It's a bit more flexible. So the tools that you're using, picking up, putting down, picking up, I always tend to put, you know, a short tail on him. Just makes it more robust when you're picking them up, putting them down, hammering them about. And it's from this point here, it's much shorter than having a robust connection. So this is what happens, look. First of all, this space here underneath the handle is a lot longer. Makes it slightly less flexible, makes the whole thing a bit longer. And what it does, you just put this down like that, and it does that all the time, unconnects itself all the time when you're putting it on and off. You just have to tap this thing and it's disconnected. And it's very handy, these pull-out cords. You can just use them, and then when you want them back, you just put them back in. But what I mean to show you is I run two compressors, two little ones, and a big tank in the back there. And I run two lines. I split the line. This is the dry line. This here is the dry. It comes through the filter there, the filter, and then the filter lets it out into this. So I run a filtered dry line, I call that, you know, and it gets rid of the moisture. The moisture collects here, and then you clean the moisture out. But then also I run an oiled line. So when I'm using equipment like this, that you want to maintain and keep an oiled line in it, there's an oiler. So you can get a filtered line and a water trap line just alongside, put a T-joint in it, and then an oil line. So when I'm using if I'm using dry tools, I plug into here, like my extension, whatever. This is standard air, you know. But if I'm using tools, you fill your little, and it just dribbles. Rather than having to oil the tool, the whole line, and the same as my lines are the same. I have oiled lines and dry lines. These automatically oil the tools. You don't have to forget to put oil in them, because this oils it. It's an oily, greasy line. Not much, just enough, you know what I mean? And you have to use, well, you don't have to use, but there's special compressor oil. It's a clear oil, as you can see. Look, it's a clear oil, and it just keeps all the tools oiled. Because if you run a dry line through this and use it, it doesn't get any lubricant. It doesn't want much lubricant, but it doesn't get any lubricant. So over a period of time, you're gonna kill it and wear it out. So this type of thing requires an oiled line. So it doesn't matter if there's a bit of dripping about and whatever, as it wears. So a dry line, filtered, and an oiled line. I use both lines. So this is an oil line. This will get a nice, gentle. Not that you'd hardly ever see it, even that it's oily air. You know, how can I say? It's very faint, but it's almost like putting a dry air into something filtered, and then the next line, the oil line, is like a damp, just the damp air, just the damp oiled air is enough to, you know, put the right air supply into the right tools. Wow, this is some beast. This is. Watch. Oh, you can feel it slam on the inside of it. And if you hold that up against there, look, up against there. Look at the hole it makes there. It's gonna rip through these nails, isn't it? And you can feel the power of the shot in it, the recoil. Well, just gently touch that. Look. There's some recoil in that thing. Wow. Anyway, come on, let's look at why I decided to go down the way of the gun. We've had all this wood, don't you? We've had all this wood. And it's brand new wood. First of all, it's all brand new wood. Only been used once to carry goods in, and then they emptied the goods out and then gave me the wood directly. So I know the history and the story. This hasn't been used several times, you know, and then pick it up, because generally the wood you do pick up is stuff that's been used, or, you know, now they want better stuff. So shall we do, it's raining outside. Hold on, let's do a bit of target practice. Woo! Hold on, let's try something. I can see a nail. I can see a plank with a nail and a drum there. Let's do some target practice with the thing. So there's the nail. You put it over the head of the nail. I've got my glasses on, and that's about it. Let's aim it towards that fire bin. We are a good way away. I don't think it's going to hit the fire bin. Hold on. Right, you're on top of the plank. We're headed for the fire bin. Fingers out the way. Ooh! Ooh! Oh no, it fired it out, which is good. It fired it out. It didn't send it all the way. I do intend putting it over the top of a bucket. Let's do that again then. I do intend putting it over the top of a bucket and firing it into a bucket of sand or a bucket of sawdust, but we ain't got that at the moment. It's raining. We are. Let's try this then. Right, again, you put it over the nail. Woo! It went. Did you see it fire it up there? Did you hear it clink? That one fired it out, because I think it's straight. Right, we're headed towards metal, so we should hear something. Again, hold the plank between my knees, put the gun over the end, and then... Ooh. Ah, but the board moving took the pressure out of that, but it kicked it out, didn't it? Man, oh man. If that board didn't move, it wouldn't have sucked the pressure out of it. Hold on. Same again. I'm thinking we're going to do a slow-mo. Yeah. Let's see. Let's try a slow-mo. So it's down between my legs. I've caught it here. We're going to put this in here and we're going to fire it. So let's try a slow-mo. Oh! So, can you see the reason? First of all, they're really horrible grippy nails, aren't they? Wow, man oh man. So they do a good job. They're all these ridged nails. But can you see, this is essentially a new one still, isn't it? It's not rusty, it's not bent, it's going to come out lovely. We go along a bit and we find another one. Look, that you could almost look how loose it's ready to come. You know, it's shooting out a good time. And you can see where the end where the gun has belted it. So, like I say, because these are new nails in new boards and we're stripping new boards, these new nails I think are probably worth collecting. Okay, there's going to be thousands. Otherwise, you're sort of condemned to pulling them out, knocking them out, hammering them out. It's going to make things a lot easier. Maybe we'll turn the board up a bit. You can see where, maybe if you turn the pressure down, or is it better if you're making something that it leaves an indent there so you can fill it, or maybe put a dowel in there and then cut it off and make them disappear? Is that a good thing or a bad thing that it leaves quite a dent there? I mean, what would happen if we turned the pressure of the compressor down? We have that control, don't we? These are a shorter nail come from a different direction of that angle that was causing us trouble. Let's see what this does. Oh, threw it out there. Threw it out there. No, it didn't. Did it? Oh, I don't know. Let's try that again. Where are we? Where are we? Come out of it. Where are we? Right, try that there. At least it's sticky, making it come out. At least you can grip it now. Gets away the hammering bit. These are shorter nails. Yeah, you can. I think this is going to be a quicker process. Once you've, again, with these things, you have to almost make yourself a little production line. I wonder if it'll hammer one in. Let's see if it'll go over the head of this. I doubt it. No, look, it won't go over the head. So I don't know if it would hammer one in. That's quite a long one, isn't it? I wonder if it'll get it out of there. Let's have a look. Let's see if this will just, as long as we can get the beginning of it on there. Ooh, oh yeah, it kicked it out, didn't it? It kicked it out. Here we are, there we are. Let's try that again. Yeah, kicked it out, didn't it? See, there's no rust and there's no deterioration. We're going to get a lot of nice, good nails out of this. You know, everything costs money, innit? And that's the whole point of we're getting and collecting and making things and having fun without costing us an arm and a leg. So let's go and look at the planks, the stripped planks, and see what we think of those. So because of the way we've stripped them, we've pulled the planks out with the nails, haven't we? So if you sort of have a general look, a lot of them are still straight nails, aren't they? They're still fairly straight nails. And they're not in bad condition as in for rust. They're still like new. So I do think it was worth considering. See, that's a perfectly straight nail, except it's in a wood, but by the time you've tapped that in and then come this side and pulled it out, it's grief, isn't it? So we can go bang bang, that's done. Bang bang, that's done. So overall, I think, okay, it's given us a bit more work. Otherwise, ordinarily when I do these things and I get older planks and older pallets to cut up, I just get a grinder and go cut. But I think it was like the tool. You make the tool for the job you're doing. this, I think in this particular job, in this particular case, I think it's it would be foolhardy to miss all these nails in here. Except we're going to set up a bucket with some sand or sawdust on something so we can let the nails land without bouncing back up, and also we can rescue the nails out the sand. Yeah, so we've got the sand. I want a taller bucket, yeah. Something that gives it a land and a bit to travel if it does. And then just a simple hammer. So I think we're okay. We're on the right path, except we've got a lot to do. We have got a lot to do, but you know, we're tired and we've got the time, haven't we? This pile will severely shrink by the time we've nailed them and put them on top of each other properly, you know. So we've got those to strip there, this week's project. Clear the wood out of there so we can take the car off the front, put that back in the garage. The Puco, the Le Goldwing, the French Goldwing, put the French Goldwing in there, can't we? And we can strip all these and start putting them away. I still think there's quite a bit of work to do, but you know, it's all come for nothing, and who knows what the next project's going to be. You make it out of what you've got, and we've got lots of wood, so we can make stuff that needs lots of wood now, can't we? And of course we bought the saw, didn't we? And we've got the wood turner. So we're getting there, we're getting there. The main question today is, are we going to be able to fly our flag tomorrow? We plan on flying the flag tomorrow. Are we going to be able to fly a flag tomorrow? What I'm saying is it going to be hoofing down with weather? I'm going to get it rigged up ready, and we'll make our choice in the morning. But just a little taster for you. Tomorrow will be the first journey out for the new flag and the new stiffer flag pole. Because remember, we put a pole inside a pole, and to see if our flag attachment works properly. Full test tomorrow. We've got a nice film coming for you tomorrow.